Discovery proudly presents the Stamp Act.
Welcome to Liberty News, where we bring you old news as if it's happening right now. I'm Hank.
And I'm Lila. Today we're bringing you news from the spring of 1965, where colonists are reacting to a new tax.
That's right. There is an uproar over a new law called the Stamp Act. Let's go to our history room where the historians will explain to us what led up to today's events. Can you first tell us what a tax is?
Great question, Hank. The tax is when a government requires extra money to be paid besides how much something costs. For example, if you buy a tour, the store may charge you $5, but the tax will cost an extra 41 cents. So you pay $5.41 for the tour. The $5 goes to the store and the 41 cents goes to the government.
So tell us about the Stamp Act.
Well, up until today, the colonists have experienced a few taxes, mostly on imports. Nothing that affected the people personally, but this Stamp Act is something new. Altogether, why don't you explain it?
Sure. So after the French and Indian War last year, Britain left an army in America to protect the colonists on the frontier while keeping soldiers armed and fed costs money.
So in March, just a few weeks ago, the British Prime Minister George Grenville decided he needed to get the colonies to start paying for some of that bill. The Stamp Act does that by charging extra for paper.
Paper? That's right. Newspapers, marriage certificates, legal documents, even playing cards. They all have to have a special stamp. That is taxed. So what's the big deal?
Well, you have to remember that the colonists are not used to this kind of tax. A tax just to raise money for the government. I don't think so.
It's not only that. The colonists have their own legislators, their own local governments that make laws. But this Stamp Act was made by the British Parliament over in England. The colonists weren't even asked if this is what is best for the colonies. They weren't represented.
Taxation without representation. Serious business indeed, thank you. We now head to Alondra, who's in Massachusetts. Alondra, what is it like over there?
Thanks, Hank. The people are not happy about the Stamp Act. I am here with Samuel Adams. Sam, what do you have to say? The Stamp Act is designed only to get the people used to thinking of themselves as slaves of men. I plan to organize a group called the Sons of Liberty to help fight this injustice. Well, there you have it. The colonists seem to have a united opinion. They are saying no taxation without representation. In other words, if you're going to tax us, you have to let our chosen local residents vote on it.
So they are seeing it as unfair?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you, Alondra. Now back to Jamal in Virginia. Jamal, where exactly are you?
I'm here at the Virginia legislature. It's where the laws are made for the people of Virginia. We've been listening to Patrick Henry speak against the Stamp Act. I have here a recording of his resolutions, as he calls them. Whether the people of Virginia will agree with him is yet to be seen. I'll now play back what Patrick Henry had to say earlier today.
Resolve that the legislature of the colony has the only right and power to lay taxes on the people of this colony, and that every attempt to give that power to any person or persons whatsoever other than this Virginia legislature has a magnificent tendency to destroy British as well as America freedom. Resolve that the people of this colony do not have the obedient any law other than the law of Virginia legislature. Resolve that any person or persons who shall say, write, or write that anyone other than this Virginia legislature has any right or power to lay any taxation on the people of this colony shall be deemed an enemy to this colony.
Wow, so he's saying that the Stamp Act tax is actually against freedom?
That's right, Lila. Those in Virginia, like those in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and all the other colonies, are saying that this Stamp Act is unfair. Only the colonial legislatures have a right to tax the colonists. The British Parliament, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, they say, should not be taxing the colonies.
Thank you, Jamal. We go back now to the history room. What will happen next in historian for an update on what? Thank you, Lila. After today, Samuel Adams will stay true to his word. He will gather a group of men called the Sons in Liberty who will harass those who are okay with the Stamp Act tax. Harass? You mean like give them a hard time, disturb, and pester them? That doesn't sound fun.
No, it isn't. The colonists are so upset and make so much trouble over the Stamp Act that the British Parliament finally says, never mind, we take it back. You don't have to pay the tax.
When the government changed the law, so that isn't a law anymore. It's called repeal. So in 1766, the Stamp Act was repealed.
Thank you. Will the repeal of the Stamp Act end the disagreements between Britain and its colonies? Will Britain leave America alone or continue to tax her? Well, Hank, our viewers will have to stay tuned to the Revolutionary War channel to find out. In the meantime, this is Lila for Liberty News.
And I'm Hank.
Reminding you to
Keep learning!